on YouTube, man? It's your boy Big Pain, man. Came back with another video. First off, I want to salute to Philly Fresh, Lord Brunson. I've been watching him for the longest. Philly 500, Philly Talks Radio, Philly Sports Radio. I think that's his name. Eagles Season, SZN, and whoever else came through in the comments. If I left you out, thanks for support. A lot of y'all started it off, and I'm gonna be here to finish it for y'all. Talking about the Eagles, and I just want to get right into it. So for starters, that the news today, our first round draft pick got signed for a 3-year deal. I don't know the numbers and all that, but that just goes to show that he's been taking care of his body, and I wasn't really too worried about Jalen Reagor staying in shape. But with that being said, our receivers was a big question mark last year, and I'm here to dive into how we should look. I'm a big fan of Law Nation. He a big Cowboys YouTuber, and one thing he said was that even though the Eagles didn't have no receivers, they came out in a lot of 12 personnel last year, which means they didn't use receivers. 12 personnel, if you don't know, is when you got one running back, I believe 2 tight ends, and 2 receivers. And, I just came to talk about that. Yesterday, if you watch my video, I talked about saying things and having substance behind it. The reasoning for us having that situation like that is because our tight ends were our strong suit, so obviously we will come out in 12 personnel. But if you look at it, our receivers were our weak point. So that's why we had to stick with the 12 personnel. With the additions of Marquise Goodwin, Quez Watkins, with D-Jax coming back, Jalen Reagor coming in from the first round, and hopefully Alshon Jeffrey. You can't forget Ortega-Whiteside, even though he wasn't really much of a factor like that last year, and Greg Ward, too. You can't forget about him. But all of these receivers coming in, I guarantee we won't lead the league in 12 personnel this upcoming season, because what's the point? You got the receivers now. There's no reason to lead the league in 12 personnel. Now you might see a lot of 11 personnel, which is 3 receivers, 1 tight end. And people are going to say, well, what about Goddard? Here's the thing. The Eagles are known for having rotational fronts, rotational offensive line, and rotating running backs. What makes you think we're not going to rotate our tight ends? You got to understand, it's a lot of formations where you can put these tight ends in position to succeed. For instance, the gun split formation, where you got 3 wide receivers out the gun, 1 to the left, 2 to the right, however you want to call it, and then you got 2 backs in the backfield. Obviously, the back is going to be Miles Sanders, and then also you could throw, I'm drawing a blank, what's his name, Boston Scott. But also, when you put in guys to take out Boston Scott's spot and put guys like Zach Ertz back there, now you got Zach Ertz as a pass blocking threat and a receiving threat coming out. You have to watch Zach Ertz coming underneath. You put in Dallas Goedert. He's still a great route runner as well, but he's also a better run blocker than Zach Ertz. So when he come in, you know that he's potentially run blocking, and he still can run routes. So you will see us bringing out more 3 receivers, 1 tight end, because at the end of the day, we had to do that because Doug Peterson had to adjust. If we had 3 capable receivers on the field, you think that we wouldn't have had some of them out? It wasn't the case. We had to put in some of our backup tight ends to play receivers. So we had to play heavy tight end. And that's just really what I wanted to get at right now, because there's no way you're gonna have Marquise Goodwin on your roster, Deshaun Jackson and Jalen Reagor, and not use them. And this is where we got to talk about putting these dudes in position to succeed when it comes to situations. The main thing is, all right, when people say, oh yeah, 20 to 20, in between 20 to 20. So basically, before it was 25-yard lines, when they come off the kickoff, you used to get the ball at the 20 if you wave your hand. So from in between the 25-yard line into the red zone, if we can get some big chunk plays from these speedsters off jet sweeps, posts, whatever routes, get them open, or just bubble screens, run after catch yards, and they taking these big chunk plays. Then we get to the red zone. Then you might see some 12 personnel with the big boys coming out within. When I mentioned Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, that's when you should see them. And also, you might not see a lot of the bigger receivers starting off the game. So you might see Arcega-Whiteside in the red zone more than you see some of these other guys in the red zone, because we can be putting these dudes where their strong suits at. You know, besides Alshon Jeffrey, Arcega-Whiteside might be our best person at high pointing these high pointing catches or passes from Carson Wentz. That's what we draft him for, to, you know, fill that Alshon Jeffrey role, because eventually we're gonna have to move past him. But it's all about how we're gonna use these dudes, because I don't want to see, you know, Marquise Goodwin, D-Jax, and Jalen Reagor in the red zone. We got to put some bigger receivers on the outside, in my opinion. Maybe you could do some speed stuff to get in there, but sometimes you got to, it's a reason why Carson Wentz is one of the best red zone quarterbacks. First off, he has great decision making. Secondly, he has big receivers to throw to with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. And, you know, also he doesn't throw interceptions. Like, he's not a big interception guy, you know. He's a guy that'll extend the play to the end of the play and then throw the pass. You know, he doesn't get enough credit for that. But you bring those type of 12 personnel sets also, because you could run the ball out of it as well too. See, I'm naming all these receivers. People forget we got Miles Sanders. You heard me talking about all these receivers, and I bet you just forgot about Miles Sanders. So those dudes could also come in and be extra blockers to seal the edge up. You know, you might have counters, you might have trap runs, whatever you want to do, you know. So I think you bring out the 12 personnel when in short yardage situations and in the red zone. But the thing is, our problem was getting to the red zone. That's why we have to utilize this speed to get to the red zone. We can't forget, it's a reason why we needed speed, is because Carson Wentz basically turned from playing like Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and all these other dudes who extend plays, to Tom Brady last year, to taking flats and all that stuff that he don't usually do. He's one of the people in the league that don't take flats. If you look at his number, he don't take the checkdowns. He don't take checkdowns. He's a big arm dude. He does not want to take checkdowns. And he had to change his style up to be just a regular pocket passer. We got these weapons to help him with his strengths, which is throwing the ball downfield, making big plays. You know, so right then and there, I just came here to address that. You know, Eagles Nation, man, fly Eagles fly. Whoever tuned in, you know, make sure you don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See y'all later.